be carrying with me. So I have the REI flash carbon fiber poles. This is the Aerial Pro 65. It is like a little bit heavier of a pack than people normally take with through hikes, but I found that it doesn't hurt my back as bad as some of the other lightweight packs. I have hand sanitizer, a Kula cloth, some camp shoes. I have my Garmin InReach Mini. I don't have my water bottles, but I'll be carrying 2-liter smart water bottles and one that's a little bit smaller. In the side pocket here, I have my sunglasses. I have them in a case because I don't want to crush them. A little Leatherman. I'm going to be using a CNOC bladder, and I hear that the water has a lot of calories in New Mexico, meaning that there's a lot of stuff in the water and a lot of chunks, and I don't want to ruin my filter right off the bat. So I have some pantyhose that I'll be using to pre-filter. I'm going to put it inside the CNOC bladder to fill up my water to kind of filter out like the chunks and stuff. I have some lotion because being in the desert, I figured it'd be really dry. A cheap pen. I have the Catadine Be Free filter. I'm putting it in a bag to start off with because it sounds like almost every day I might get freezing temperatures and I don't want my filter to freeze. So I figured it'd be easy to just in a bag so I'm not getting wet and stick it in my pocket. I have a little MP3 player because I'd really not want to drain my phone's battery by listening to music because a lot of the stretches between towns are really far. And I think an MP3 player would be a smarter choice. Also, it's so lightweight. It's like just over an ounce. I have a Nightcore headlamp, rechargeable. I have my headphones. I have some water tablets because some of the water I'm hearing about is super nasty, and I may want to use some tablets to get rid of the potential viruses that are in the water that the filter does not get. I've never actually used them before, but from what I'm seeing, it looks super disgusting. I have some sunscreen in stick form and some chapstick with SPF 15. So now for the meat of my pack. Oh, almost forgot. Of course, I've got my trowel, the Deuce number 2. I have the Z-Pax duplex and steaks. Have the Jetboil stash with a mini Beck lighter. Have wet wipes and toilet paper. I have a brown sheet, but what I did to this is I spray painted it with letters, but this was my first time spray painting, so it didn't turn out as great. But have a hiker to trail and hiker to town. So hopefully that helps with some of the hard hitch hikes. If anything, it's just kind of fun. I have a Talenti jar for cold soaking and drinks. I have a Z-Pax ditty bag that I'll be using for all my small items. So I have a fleece-ended buff. So they're polar buff, like fleece at the bottom. It just sounds like that there's snow coming up potentially, so I just want to stay warm. I have mouthwash and Dr. Bronner soap, which I'll also be using as toothpaste. And my toothbrush is by the sink right now. The Z-Pax wallet. I've got my cords. A bag of pills, including Diamox. For once I get higher elevations, I'll be carrying a mask just in case. A 20,000 milliamp Anchor battery. And a little medical kit, extra spare headphones, stamps, eye drops, emergency blanket, my New Mexico permit, nail clippers, all the little tiny stuff like that. And in here is my clothing. I have rain pants. These are the outdoor research. I don't know what type. I'm not sure. All I know is they're outdoor research brand. The Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer. I really like that on the PCT. I have an old North Face fleece, which was actually lighter than my R1 hoodie, so I decided to go for this one to save some weight. I have 2 pairs of spare Engine G toe socks. I have some fluffy slipper socks to sleep in that are super lightweight. These are the Patagonia thermal weight Capeline base layer pants that I'll be using to sleep in. I have the outdoor research Helium 2 rain jacket. I have an ex officio tank top. I'll be kind of using this on like hot days or like in town, kind of like a town clothes. This is an REI base layer. Can't remember exactly which kind it is, but just a lightweight base layer that I'll be using as like a sleep shirt. I have a thin Montbell fleece hat, some thin craft brand gloves, and 2 pairs of spare ex officio underwear. Right now I have my first section of food for 6 days from the border back to Lordsburg. I can go over that later. This is the Thermarest X-Therm pad, sleeping pad. It's inside the storage bag slash pump bag. I just kind of store it in there to just kind of give it an extra added layer of protection. And the last bag in here is my sleep stuff. My Enlightened Equipment Revelation sleeping quilt. This is a 0 degree. And I have a Thermarest fleece, sorry, not Thermarest, Sea to Summit sleeping bag liner. And then both this bag and then the one that my clothes were in are the Z-Packs stuff sacks. And that's what's in my bag. Okay, not shown earlier was my toothbrush, my brush, and my water bottles. So what I like about this brush, other than it being lightweight and compactable, it pops out. It also has a mirror, which is good for checking for ticks and things like that. To make sure, not that I'm expecting ticks here, but I just like that for backpacking in general, for things like that. Here's all the food that I'll be starting off with from the border to Lordsburg. Like everything in my food sack, plenty jar, hydration, drink mixes, got my long-handled spoon, a bag for trash. So first day I've got this big sandwich and banana for lunch, this for dinner. I'm gonna drink the breakfast essentials as hot chocolate and have that for dinner. And here I've got oatmeal, a yogurt that doesn't need to be refrigerated, chocolate pastry, some like granola cookie things. I've got an applesauce, my favorite chip snack, some little candy. I have some herbed chicken couscous. This is actually half the box, and then I put in spinach that was dehydrated. And then in here I have mushrooms, zucchini, yellow squash, and peppers. And that'll make it a lot more interesting than just the boxed couscous. Got some Ghirardelli hot chocolate. Up here I have more yogurt, oatmeal, pastry, trail mix, granola bars, some different snacks, applesauce, and this is the rice and beans that I dehydrated. Also have a honey stinger waffle for that day. I have fig bars, oatmeal, cookies, snacks, treats. This is salmon mushroom couscous pilaf that I dehydrated, and I have one of the goo energy gels. And over here I've got more oatmeal, fig bars, peanut butter. I have one of these instant mashed potatoes. I did the same thing with the couscous, that I halved the bag. I added spinach, and in here it looks like mushrooms and peppers. This is the 4 cheese. I always find that the whole bag itself is just a bit too much for me. And this is some freeze-dried chicken that kind of powderized, but whatever, I could just add some freeze-dried chicken to that, make it more of a meal. And for dinner I have the pesto pasta that I dehydrated. It looks like I'll be losing a lot of the labels on them because the Sharpie's already rubbing off. And day 6, which I'll hopefully be doing a half day into Lordsburg, or maybe shorter than that. I have oatmeal, fig bars. This is actually hummus, some granola bars, more mashed potatoes, and cookies. And hopefully that is the right amount of food to start off with. Usually my appetite's a little bit on the lower side when I start, but it's also going to be cold. Some of the days the high is in the 60s, so I might want to eat more because of that. Worst case, I can go into Hachita, which is about halfway, but I think this is going to be more than enough food. And a lot of my resupplies for the rest of the trail will be kind of similar to this, where I'll start off with some fresh food and similar food nature for the rest of the boxes that I'm going to have my mom ship to me. After a 4.5-hour drive, we made it here to Lordsburg, and we're staying at the Motel 6. This place here, there were a ton of tumbleweeds and dust worms along the way, and I saw a dead dog. But the dust storms are crazy. There's also this wind warning for the next couple days that are telling you to like seek shelter and stay in the lower floors and away from windows, which is a little bit scary. But it is very windy, and there are a lot of dust storms and like little dust tornadoes, dust devils or something like that forming all over the desert. But other than that, the weather's really nice today.